Hey there, everybody. This is Kendosi1 today. Just gonna play a little game and have a little chat with everybody and just say hi. So this is the first time using my recording. Just learned how to use it, and thankfully they added a editing feature. I use Raptor, so a little bit nicer, and probably have to have my friends help me out with it. But just gonna try to give it a shot today. So nothing special. Don't expect perfection. Um, and yeah. So, this is World of Warships. The Russian cruisers just came out. I'm just monkeying around with the Tier 2. I haven't really got too much into them yet. Played a battle or two, nothing special, I guess. It's not bad, honestly, but I enjoy them. But that's not the point of this video today. So, the point of this video today is just to say hi, say who I am, and kind of just explain what this channel is going to be. So this channel is just going to be basically anything I'm up to. I have a lot of great friends, Sparkle7, Masake Lives, Marshmallow, Archangel, my brother KCL85. So a lot of good friends, a lot of cool people. So this channel is just basically anything to have fun. I'm going to put up some informational stuff every once in a while. So maybe if a new tank comes out and I have access to it, or new ships, anything like that. I'm just gonna try to give you guys the best example and kind of the best information I can. I'm nowhere close to Jingles. He is way too good. He's fantastic. I watch him so much. He's a great help to me in warships and basically any game I play. But I am not perfect at any of these games by any stretch of the imagination, so if you're looking for pro tips, yeah, I got nothing. But just anything to help you guys, because I mean, even in ships, I know that carriers are difficult for some people, and I know that in tanks, the World of Tanks, there are certain things that are difficult, and there are a lot of games that are difficult, but I'm just going to try to help you guys out as much as I possibly can. And yeah. So if you want to laugh, I'm going to try to keep a couple of those in here, especially when Sparkles and a couple of my other friends get on. We play some World of Tanks teen training rooms. It gets a little intense, but I hope you guys have fun watching, and that's pretty much all this channel is for, is just fun and games and some informational stuff. I'm not perfect, but we'll give it the best shot we can. So, right now I'm in the Tier 2 Novik, the Russian Tier 2. It's a nice little ship. It's got about 5 guns per side. Broadside at any one time, but 3 on the other side. It's not particularly fast, of course. It's a Tier 2, but you never know. You win some, you lose some, and you get some lemons, and you get some good ships. So, it just depends on where you're at, but basically, just gonna play little ships, and this will probably be one of the first videos I ever put up, so let's rock and roll. After this, maybe I'll do the midway for you guys, because midway is kind of fun. At least I think so, but man, you can lose some serious money with that ship. Tier 10s are, woo, not necessarily money makers, that is for damn sure. And of course there's chat about, all the cussing, and I love this ship, this ship isn't good, this ship is good, blah blah blah. Gotta love MMOs, right? Okay, Kolberg. So that's the German Tier 3. So yeah, he's on me, so unfortunately, he has a really good reload rate, so this is not going to be good. I do too, but I think he has more guns than I do, so this is not going to end well. I think I might have to go with the turn and bird mode. What I mean by that is just basically turn in circles and continue to fire, and basically just try to not be hit, but put out a lot of fire. And I mean, I'm not sure if this is good. I know you can do this with the St. Louis and the Omaha, but I'm not sure how useful this is with the Novik, so we'll give it a shot, I suppose. But I'm pretty new to this ship, so don't know how good I'm going to be, but basically I'm just trying to keep from getting hit. The only problem is I'm kind of worried about that destroyer, but if our friendly destroyer gets him, we might be okay? I'm not sure. Kinda wish I had torpedoes though, that'd be kinda nice. I think the tier 4 has torpedoes if I'm not mistaken. So, just burn the repair ability just because I really don't want a gun knocked out right now. Yeah, we lost the friendly destroyer, so that's not good. Yeah, it's probably time to leave. Oh, yay. Battleship showed up. Woohoo! Apparently we got a lot of torpedoes. Which is not necessarily a good thing, unfortunately. Come on. Ah, oh, damn. Yeah, that's okay. We got more stuff to kill anyway. Alright, let's see. Another Novik. I just have the other Type 6 camouflage, just the one that's minus 4% dispersion, if you guys are wondering what the different, or what paint I usually do. The way I kind of do it is, if you're in a destroyer, you obviously don't want to be detected, usually, so, I mean, some of the American destroyers, I think it might be okay to do the other types of the other, oh wow, apparently I'm gonna ram this guy, but usually the destroyers, I'm gonna use the Type 6 that decreases your detectability, but if I'm in a cruiser or anything else, generally I see it as, or at least better to just do the disbursement of fire, like the minus 4% accuracy, just so that way it, you know, hopefully you won't be hit. Because, I mean, if you're going to be in a cruiser or a battleship, I mean, you're going to get detected and you're going to get shot at. There's not really any surprise there, so I think I see as, like, putting the minus detectability on as kind of a waste of time, and money for that matter, but I don't like that Kawachi looking at me. And it's a Kawachi, it's just a Kawachi, but still, I mean, not really my favorite. Really? Aw. Is that Kawachi looking at me? What the hell is that? Oh, okay. He's looking to destroy. I was like, what is it? I thought he was looking backwards. I was like, probably not a good idea to look backwards, bro. We're all in front of you. Set him on fire. That's probably the only suggestion I would have if you're in a cruiser and you're shooting at a battleship. I mean, people really hate high explosive spam, and one of my best friends loves it, and I do think it's a really good idea, but I think it depends on the ship that you're in. Like, if you're in a cruiser that, like, can penetrate stuff and you can get citadels, usually it's a good idea, at least in my opinion, to just use the, armor piercing, but on battleships, just because their repairability takes so long, like, to go off cooldown, which is, you know, the R ability down here, in my opinion, it's better just to go for the HE, because if you light them on fire and they repair it, you know, and then you light them on fire again, obviously they can't repair it, but the other half of that too is, like, if you have a friendly DD nearby and you light him on fire, or you light the enemy ship on fire like a battleship or a cruiser, and then the DD hits him with torpedoes, I mean, if it causes flooding, he's going to be dead a heck of a lot faster, which is good for you and bad for him, so I think it depends on your preference, but for me, HE kind of seems to be the way to go. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people would agree, but that's just my, opinion. Take it with a grain of salt, or, make sure you make up your own mind about it, because I am not perfect and I'm not an expert, so. Anyway, so battleship's dead. We keep getting our kills kind of stolen. I think I'm a little out of range on the South Carolina, but that name is shit, but Welcome to World of Warships, right? Okay, well now I'm hitting the map border. Woo, good game, guys. My aim is shit. Running to the map border. Genius! Oh, come on, turn that way. Yes. This is an island in front of him. Turn! Turn! Come on. Woohoo! Aw. I'm totally aiming the wrong way. I'm so bad. Was he gonna turn this way now? Oh, is he looking at me? Oh shit, he's looking at me. Uh-oh. Oh, you're gonna run aground, aren't you? Run aground. Yes. Come hither. There we go. What is this South Carolina doing? I mean, I know the turn rate's bad, but, I mean, you'd think he'd try to be doing something by now. And I guess he's the last guy on the team. Maybe he just gave up. Maybe he's like, I'm just going to try to dodge shots. Oh, well, what you going to do, right? The only problem I have with like shooting people from the rear is I keep forgetting to like aim farther in front of them so that it leads them. It's so easier when they're like, so much easier when they're going like horizontally versus like this away from you, because if it's horizontally you can like, it's easier to kind of tell where you're going to lead versus, you know, normally if you push your cursor up, I feel like I'd be firing over him, but I'm not. I'm firing, you know, leading him. So anyway, I mean, it wasn't a bad battle. I mean, obviously anybody will take some credits because I definitely will. Having a midway, you lose so much money, but making 65k or 66k isn't terrible. But yeah, it's not bad. I'll take 127 hits and a kill. Ooh. So yeah, like I said, I kind of already played it. I had a little free XP from before, so I did free XP my way through some of these upgrades, but I'm thinking this kind of seems like an easy ship to get the XP for, so I'm thinking if I just get the free XP for this, or the XP just on the ship for this, and then free XP some of the modules when I get to this one, I think that's what I'll do. My friend said he actually really likes it, so it's not a terrible ship. I'm not like... And it looks pretty cool. I like the look of these turrets. These ones and these ones not so much, but I mean, they are 152mm guns, so it's not terrible. But yeah. But yeah, so that's the Novik. I mean, obviously this is a review of it, but it's not a terrible ship. I mean, I have it fully upgraded, so I do have all 8 guns. Stock it only has the 6 120s, but now I have 8, so I mean, I'll take it. It's a really nice ship, though. I mean, you know, it's tier 2, but for a tier 2, it's not bad. And it almost feels a little bit like the premium ship here, the Emden that they gave us, that Wargaming gave everybody for Christmas. So, I mean, it's a pretty cool little ship. I like it. Yeah. But I think my pride and joy is kind of split at the moment, because I do have the Amagi, which is absolutely amazing. This thing is probably one of the more OP ships in the game. Not because of like armor or anything, but just on the guns. I mean, I usually carry the main battery modification 1 so that I get better accuracy. So this is a pretty nice ship, but I mean, North Carolina, I believe, has more range, if I'm not mistaken. Let me look. Because the Amagi has 19.9 kilometer range, and the equivalent American battleship, the North Carolina, has... Okay, so it does have more range, but I think that the Amagi has... It does have one more gun, because it has the 5 turrets with the twin guns here, versus the North Carolina has 3 turrets with 3 guns, so 9. But I don't know. I mean, it's a heck of a lot faster. It's almost 31 knots. I usually carry the speed flag on it, so usually it's about 31 knots. So, I mean, it can be a little OP at times. I've killed them easily before, but, I mean, I do love the Amagi, and, I mean, I've been playing it for a while, obviously, but I'm pretty close to the Ismo at the moment. I'm actually really excited about that. The only problem is obviously the price tag, because, you know, tier 10 and warships and all, and yeah, money's a little tight, but yeah, I enjoy it. It's fun, and then this is kind of more of my pride and joy, I suppose. My Midway. It's very cool. I just got it, I think, 2 days ago. It's a really, really fantastic ship. It's very, very fast. I mean, it can't turn, but I mean, it is immensely long, so that's not really surprising. But the air wing is not bad. The reserves are actually fantastic. I have 2 fighter squadrons. I stuck with a stock loadout, so you have 2 fighter squadrons, 2 dive bomber squadrons, and then the squadron torpedo bombers here. So it's actually a really, really fantastic ship. I love it. There's obviously a lot of secondaries for this thing. There's 18 of these 127 millimeter guns, and they're pretty intense. The AA kind of bites. I mean, the AA is good. It's an 89, so I mean it's pretty fantastic. The only thing that frustrates me is like I never seem to actually hit anything until they get closer, and I assume that's just because the artillery here has, you know, for flak wise, has better AA or better range than my Bofors and like the little machine guns and stuff, and 20 millimeter cannons along the back here. But I mean, it does its job, so I can't really complain. I mean, I guess to end this video off, maybe we'll play a game. So, we'll see. It does lose a lot of money if you lose, and knowing me, I'm probably going to lose. I don't even know how I got to a tier 10, but, I mean, we'll give it a shot. If anybody's in the queue, which, apparently there's not, but, I mean, there's another carrier, so that's good, because of the matchmaking being symmetrical for carriers. So if you have a tier 10 or a tier 9, you're going to get a tier 10 or a tier 9. So, I mean, it's decent at least, but normally during the day, it's about 116 where I am, so normally the middle of the day is usually best because you have the most players on, and like, you know, some of the more average players, so you're not playing against like experts that stay up till the middle of the night, like trying to grind out their XP and, you know, show how great they are. But during the day, it's usually not bad, which is why I try to play today. But apparently, we're not gonna get anything. But we'll give it a couple minutes. Yeah. So basically, if you guys ever want to play with me or anything like that, it'll depend on when I'm on and if I'm with my friends. But you know, leave me a message or comment down below either way, and try and see what I can do. I mean, you guys saw my loadout. In tanks it's about the same. I don't have any tier 10s yet, but I have essentially anything through tier 8, and then here it's essentially anything through tier 10. So either way, if you guys want to play, let me know. Either way, it's up to you guys, but I'm just here to hang out and chill, so just started this YouTube channel. I'm in college, so it's not exactly going to be the most regular regular uploads, but I'll do the best that I can, try and get you guys some stuff to look at and hopefully help you guys out. I usually try to get on when there's something new just because I get to take a look. So, but yeah, so it looks like we got a game here though. So Midway, and I don't know if you guys do this, but at the beginning of battle I always look at the ship across from me, or depending on what ship I'm in, usually the next, like if I'm in the Amagi, I'll look at whatever battleships across from me. So this guy looks like I have better aircraft, AA defense, and concealment. So I know that the concealment's because of my paint. AA defense I know is one of my captain skills. I'll show you guys what I have after this, but I have modules that give me upgrades to my weapon efficiency on all my aircraft, and then plus 20% health to my fighters. So that means he probably has the same loadout as me, which is the stock one. So it's 2 fighters, a torpedo bomber, 2 dive bombers, and so that means he probably has the same thing. But I do have the fighter upgrades, so hopefully I can beat him. But I suppose we will have to see. But it is tier 10, and I'm a little bit of a noob to tier 10, so we'll see. But hopefully the past experiences from my Essex and everything will, carry me through, because I enjoyed Essex so much. And in the future, I'll probably do kind of a review or layover of all the American carriers, just because I loved the American carriers. They were definitely my favorite, but I'll try to give you guys kind of how I played it, how I got through it. I'm not the best carrier player in the world, but out of all of my friends on this game, I'm the only one that has like kind of the higher tier carrier. I think my best friend has the tier 6, the Independence. So it's not perfect, but I can at least kind of give you guys the best, I guess just the best interpretation I can of like how I got through it, how I played carriers, how I did what I did. And of course, it's an MMO, so you're going to get a couple people that are going to be a little bit salty or have their own opinion of how you should play, but I'll give you guys kind of an interpretation of how I played it. But so basically what I'm trying to do here though is map view, and then I want to put my fighters here kind of out front. I want to see what he's got, where he's going to put his stuff, because I don't know if he's just going to like alt attack me with his fighters, or so see, he's trying to pull his fighters off to the side and then go around. So either he was going to try to alt attack, which means that he's going to hold alt and then try to do the kind of big gun attack on me, or the sweep, or he's going to try to draw me towards those cruisers, which is kind of what I'm thinking he's doing. So I figure I'll just kind of pull my planes back. I don't want to help these guys because I don't want to get in AA range of those enemy cruisers, but I think we might have to alt attack just because I don't want to lose. No, that probably wasn't a good. Yeah, that was a terrible idea. Shit. Oh well. You snooze, you lose, right? Wow. Yeah, that's not good at all. All right, let's leave. Yeah, hopefully you can get him out of there. But no, that was terrible. That was bad. Okay, so they got destroyed. Great. So the way I see it, is the way at least I check stuff is, so he killed my fighters. So the way I see it is, he has the advantage, so to speak, in the sense that he now has more fighters in his hangar than I will have. So I need to make sure that next time I isolate his aircraft and make sure that his fighters are not, basically just make sure that his fighters are not, alright, I'm not near any enemy ships, and that next time his fighters come in, that I take them out and, basically keep them down. Okay. So we've got enemy bombers coming in, so I'm going to land my aircraft just so that if his fighters come in, they don't, start shooting down my planes as I'm trying to defend myself. So basically, fighters are still waiting to take off. I know his torpedo bombers. Yep, there they are. So tell my AA, make sure not to focus on the fighters, because if you focus on the fighters, that's not going to help anybody. So try and take out the dive bombers, because they're going to be the first attack. Okay, so I took a hit. That's fine. But don't use their repair ability yet, because if you use it now, that will not help you. Okay, so we took probably a hit or two. That's fine. So I'm gonna send my other squadron that's just taking off after these dive bombers. Excuse me. So I just used my repair ability, which probably wasn't my best idea, but I mean. So hopefully, with the fighters attacking, it'll increase the. Yep, there we go. Damn. All right, so I did take a hit, which is okay. Should be able to put the fire out, no problem. So Squadron 2 probably needs to land. Squadron 3 is okay, but the enemy carrier pilot's gonna have to land everything anyway. So not really that big of a deal, because he's gonna have to go back and rearm. And I did just take out his fighters, and I lost 2, but that kind of helps, kind kind of equalize everything out. Plus, I didn't lose any assault aircraft yet, so in that sense, I do have more planes than he does for now. But I should not have used my repair ability that quickly, but that's okay. I kind of wish like carriers got the like repair health ability, but at the same time, I think they'd probably still be a little bit overpowered. But I don't know, you'd think if they're about as big as a battleship, they'd still be able to do kind of the same thing, you know? But, well, whatever. We'll launch our planes here and get our assault aircraft out and get these fighters landed. I gotta make sure to slow down though, because if you go really fast, it takes a while for the planes to land. If you slow down and keep your planes kind of ready to go, or keep your ship slower, it allows your planes to land a little bit quicker. But you always want to try to keep moving, at least for me, just in case, like, if something's coming around, if you've got more aircraft inbound, you know, anything like that. You want to keep moving so it's harder for them to find you. I don't know why our team is, like, hiding in the back, but I guess you can't really fix stupid, so. But, let people play the way they're going to play, so you can't really control it, so you just can do the best you can. Probably going to be a hefty repair bill already, since, you know, of course, tier 10, you know, take damage. That's a hefty bill anyway, so that probably won't be very much fun. But I saw the enemy dive bombers keep popping up down below, which means that's where he is. So I need to probably start heading my fighters down towards probably A over here, and then I'm gonna try and see if I can't sting my assault aircraft around the edge of the map over here and try to go find that carrier. So we'll see. I just want to. Okay, never mind. Actually, shit. So we've got. Let's see. Yeah. So bam, bam. Okay. I'm telling you, man, this is nuts. This guy must have played a little bit more than me because I'm not used to this, but I got a friendly cruiser over here, so I'm going to try to turn and stay close to my team. My fighters are obviously engaged at the moment, so I need to try to stick next to this cruiser so he can cover me. Yeah. Okay, well, he's out of ammunition, so that's always nice. Just kidding. It's not cool, but, I mean, there's not much you can do. Yeah, I really need to get air superiority, though, because it is not good to not have that. Air superiority is very, very important, and I do not have that, so I really, really need to get on that. I guess that's what I'm trying to work. I have my 4th crew skill. I need one more, though, to get the, oh, okay, there's the enemy carrier. So once these dive bombers launch, I think I'm going to go for him. Especially because we just knocked a lot of his assault aircraft out of the way, and then we also took a pretty good chunk out of his fighters. I mean, he took a decent chunk out of ours, but that means he's going to have to go and land and rearm. So I don't have to rearm, or at least my fighters don't. So here, at least he has a longer way to go. So we're just going to head on down here. And that cruiser makes me nervous. So does that destroyer, but it is the Russian cruiser. And the Russian cruisers don't necessarily have the best AA in the game. So I'm not necessarily that worried about not worried about him yet. Okay, so our fighters are landed. They're good to go. I want to try to get this carrier. There is a destroyer over here, though, so I think I'm probably just going to try to run over here now. Just see what we can do. Okay, so the carrier's running. I should probably help this destroyer, because if I don't, he's going to die. So, plus, I don't want to really spend too much time over here, especially if that carrier rearms his fighter aircraft. So, oh, that's a Des Moines. That's not good. That is not cool. Alright, well, Screw it. Go for it. Whatever. Get out of there, dude. Yes. Okay, so 2 hits. So not bad. We're taking hits. Looks like that's from the destroyer. I don't know. Okay, well, that's why. Oh well, game over. I mean, I lived, so my Imperial is not going to be terrible, but yeah, we didn't do that much, so we probably lost. Yep, there you go. About $2,000 or 200K, so that's not pretty, but oh well, what are you going to do, I suppose. That's the Midway. It's a really fantastic ship. I'm obviously not that good at it, but I really, really enjoy it. The loadout's fantastic. The ship all around is fantastic. Speed, anti-aircraft. I mean, you saw we shredded a lot of those torpedo bombers, a lot of those dive bombers. We did take some hits, but I mean, this thing can definitely still take hits and push, dish it back out. So it's a really fantastic ship. The AA is mostly your kind of 20mm cannons. They're twin 20mm cannons, and then you get the twin Bofors. Then you get the quad Bofors, and then your big secondaries kind of turn into your flak guns. So it's a really, really nice ship. I haven't really gotten into any really close quarters for these kind of turrets, so for these turrets to engage ships yet, but I'm assuming since you have 18 that you'd probably do okay. But considering the accuracy of secondary guns in this on most ships, I'm not really expecting any miracles. But I mean, I did defeat a Gearing with my secondaries in an Essex before, so it's definitely possible, but obviously kind of rare. Top speed's 33 knots. Turning circle obviously is pretty terrible, but I mean, what can you expect from a ship that's probably as long as a good football field or two? Detection range obviously terrible. I was kind of having some trouble with that, but let's see, 67,000 health points, so not fantastic, but not terrible. I think my Amagi is more, if I'm not mistaken. No, a little less, but still, it seems it's a little bit annoying that a tier 10 cure has only 1,000 more health points than a tier 8 battleship, but that does make sense considering it's a battleship. But basically, the way I play it is I used to do all fighters, and I mostly did for a while, but you don't get a lot of XP for that. And considering a tier 10 is essentially a premium ship once you get everything upgraded, I figured that getting the XP and being able to convert that using doubloons so I can free XP other stuff, that was more important. And then the stock loadout on the Midway is nice. Basically, the way I looked at it is, so when you have this, there's 3 choices of loadouts. So you have your stock one, which is 2 fighters, 1 bomber, 1 torpedo bomber, and 2 dive bombers. And dive bombers are really inaccurate, usually. Torpedo bombers, I mean, they're kind of your main hitter because they do the most damage, and then you get fighters, which, again, they shoot down enemy aircraft. So these are nice, the fighter loadout, but at the same time, you do lose a torpedo bomber, and generally people use the assault loadout, so something that's a little bit more balanced is nice. It is kind of hard to control a lot of different things at once. So that's why I find using this one is nice, because then you only have 2 fighters, so you're engaging the enemy fighter aircraft, but at the same time you can take your dive bombers, tell them to attack something, and then have your torpedo bombers come in and then manually control the torpedo spread of those. Because the thing about dive bombers is their targeting circle for those is pretty big, but I mean, they don't really hit much anyway. I mean, even if you use the alt attack, it is a lot smaller, but sometimes that doesn't even work. So the way I see it is, have the dive bombers go in, do as much damage as they can, but they also kind of keep the AA of the enemy ship you're targeting preoccupied, while your torpedo bombers, it kind of takes your heat off your torpedo bombers so that they can really do the damage that you need them to do. And then the fighters are protecting them. So that's what I tried to do in the last battle, but obviously I'm not fantastic at this game. So the other way to go about it is the assault loadout, and the last update they really nerfed the American carriers, because it used to be 1 fighter squadron, one torpedo bomber or two torpedo bomber squadrons and two dive bomber squadrons, and it was really, really nice. But they took away the torpedo bomber and gave you a dive bomber, which a lot of the U.S. carrier captains, including me, are not very happy about that, because the Japanese carrier has the same thing, essentially. It has 8 fighters, because it has 2 squadrons, and there's 4 planes per squadron, so they have a total of 8 fighters, 12 dive bombers, and 12 torpedo bombers. So in their assault loadout. So that would be fair to an American carrier, because you have 1 squadron fighter, so that's 6 on 8, and the American fighters are better quality, so that's pretty much a fair fight. And then you'd have your 12 torpedo bombers, they have their 12 torpedo bombers, and then you have your, 2 dive bombers and your, dive bomber squadrons and 12 dive bombers. So that would essentially be fair across the board. But apparently people were getting fed up with the fact that the American carriers could attack you from multiple sides with torpedo bombers, and, they changed that, and all of us were wondering why, because the Japanese can attack you from 3 angles versus the American carrier could only attack you with 2 because they only had the 2 torpedo bombers versus the Japanese had 3. So it's a little bit messy, but in the end I figured that a well-balanced kind of air wing would be the best, so that's kind of what I chose, is my 2 squadrons of fighters, the 1 of the torpedo bombers, and the 2 sets of dive bombers, which so far it's worked out okay. I mean, I've only played 3 or 4 battles in this thing, and I already have 7,000 experience, so and as you guys can see, I'm almost done. I just need to research this one, and then the Midway will be an elite carrier, and then or an elite ship, and I'll have my basically my tier 10 premium ship. So I mean, I'll take it. Last thing I wanted to show you guys, because I don't know if you guys were curious or not, but this is how I set up my ship module-wise and everything. So I usually carry the Air Group Modification 1, because, I mean, these are nice, but secondary battery, not that important to me if you stay out of the way. And usually I play with my friends who have a Des Moines and a Baltimore, so usually they're kind of my destroyer screen or anything like that. Plus you have torpedo bombers and dive bombers, so they should be able to take care of that if you play it right. Anti-aircraft, that's nice, but there are captain skills that can kind of take care of that. So I figured that having this Air Group Modification 1, it will at least give my fighters at least a little bit of a leg up, and then my tail gunners and my bombers a leg up as well, just to, in the hopes that they'll take out more enemy planes for me. For this one, I didn't really feel that aircraft servicing time was very important. Because there's a captain skill that kind of takes care of that, so I figured this would be best, especially since you want your fighters to be, out there, and you want them to be keeping the enemy aircraft occupied while your assault aircraft kind of get the work done. So that's what I figured was best. The AA Modification 2 might be a good idea. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe once I get the Tier 5 Captain Skill Air Superiority, I might switch to this. I'm not 100% sure, though. It would kind of be nice, but I'm not exactly 100% sure what I'm going to do with that. Secondary Battery Modification 2 isn't exactly my cup of tea. It's nice for the dispersion and everything, but minus 20% to the horrible dispersion that you have, it's better, but it's nothing like, oh gosh, I need that, like, right away. So, either way, it depends on your preference. For this one, I think I'm going to go with Air Group Modification 3, because it just, all your bombers and everything, it'll give you more health. So that's kind of nice. Aircraft speed is okay, but, I mean, if you can take the hits and stay there, it's, I think, a little bit better than trying to get in, get out. Because especially if you are rushing and trying to get in, get out type thing, you can lose a lot of planes, or you completely miss whatever you're trying to hit, and then it's just a wasted, basically a wasted attack, and a lot of wasted planes too, depending on what you attack. This might be a good idea, I'm not sure. It's definitely going to be between these two. This one, Digis Damage Control System 1, I don't want to be fire, I don't want to be on fire, I don't want to be flooding, so obviously that's probably the best idea. Damage Control Mod 2, definitely, because, I mean, if this one doesn't work and I take flooding or fire, at least this helps me put it out faster. so at least I don't have as much of an issue. With this one, this is kind of the one I'm debating. If you guys have any opinions or what you guys think I should do, just leave it in the comments. But I would like this one just because I can see, more enemy planes, more, torpedoes, anything else coming in, and I feel like at tier 10 that's probably a good idea considering you have like shimikazes and gearings to deal with. On the other hand, this would kind of be nice because it would decrease my detection range to like 6.1-ish kilometers, which would kind of be nice, but I mean that's still a pretty big detection range. So it's not exactly the necessary, I guess. It's not like the most important, but I'll just leave a comment or leave a reply in the comment just what you guys think I should do for these, and probably for this one too. It's kind of between these two, but I mean, what do you guys think? How do you guys usually play your carriers? Anybody there's a lot of people out there that are better than me, so any suggestions for how I should play it or how I should set this up better, just let me know. And then last thing, captain skills, situational awareness, just so that way if I can tell if the enemy planes have spotted me, because that way it gives me time to say, okay, I need to get my fighters back here and cover my ship. Fire extinguishing, fire prevention, obviously, just if I'm on fire, don't want to be on fire because I can't launch or recover aircraft, so get that out as soon as possible. High alert, so just minus 10% to the damage control party consumable, like you kind of need that. Especially if you're flooding or anything like that, that minus 10% of time can really save your ass sometimes. And then I chose Aircraft Servicing Expert just because it gives all of your planes plus 5% health, which is really, really nice. And then minus 10% to servicing time is fantastic because that way you get them on, get them off as fast as possible. So that's kind of why I didn't get some of those modules, is because some of the stuff like this really kind of takes care of that kind of stuff. But yeah, obviously I'm going to go for air superiority next just because this is really, really going to help just because I can have 7 fighters, so I can have a total of 14 in the air at any one time, which is really going to help me kind of keep that air clear and basically, like it says, keep air supremacy over the area that I'm trying to, basically take care of. Data Finding Expert I didn't really go for just because, it's plus 10% combat performance of fighters for each tier difference between them, but, there's no one above me, so why do I need that? So, unless it works for going down, like if you have a tier 9 in a game and you're a tier 10, I don't know if it gives it plus 10% efficiency if you're fighting his fighters or not. I'm not sure. If you guys know, let me know. But as far as I know, this is only work for tiers above, and obviously if you're a tier 10, there's nothing above you, so not necessary. But anyway, I'm pretty close to the 4th skill here, hoping to get possibly the 5th one sometime this month. So maybe once I get that, I'll show you guys and do a video on it. But for now, sorry the video ran a little bit longer, but for now, thanks for watching, everybody. Had a lot of fun. I hope you guys were interested. Let me know what other stuff you guys want to see. Do you want to see battleships? I have I have most of the American stuff, or ships, a lot of the Japanese stuff. If you guys want to see anything, let me know. I have the Otago too, so if anybody wants a review of that, I can probably help you with that as well. But, yeah. So if anybody, if anybody wants me to play anything or do anything, just let me know in the comments, and hope you all are having a fantastic day and continue to have a fantastic day, and I'll see you all later.